Hey you and welcome, my name is Mike, and in this old video we are talking about what is, once again, one of my favourite subjects, and that is star-crossed lovers. They would do anything, and I mean anything, to be together. The unthinkable? It becomes pretty darn thinkable when you're in love. And also, you know, a head case. It all started when people thought a teen had been abducted by her much older boyfriend. Scary stuff. But it would then slowly be revealed that, well, you know, they say age is just a number, you know, and I mean, when I say they, I mean predators say that, but in this case, it's kind of true. Because although she was much younger, she certainly was wearing the pants. And she was certainly holding the big rock. Before we get into it, please subscribe to see new videos every single week. Now, let's give it a go. So the place for this one, it's a little old place, just outside of Toledo, Ohio. Ohio, once again, pleased to meet you. Name of Sylvania Township. It's a suburb home to about 50,000 people and gets an A+ in sort of everything. Nice, quiet, with kind of everything you need within a 15-minute drive. People say safety, bingo, numero one in these parts. Ain't bad things gonna happen to you in Sylvania Township. Not these days. Except, well, this one day in April of 2023 that would set off this kind of twisting and turning chain of events that would lead all the way to Mexico. If you can believe that. Buckle up, buckaroos. What really kicked all of this off, in fact, was a missing persons report. Let's start there. The missing persons report was filed May 5th, 2023 regarding Nicole D. Jones, 53 years of age, who lived in Sylvania Township. Police had gone to the home she lived in with her grown-ass son on Timbers Edge Boulevard, which quickly became Shiver Me Timbers Boulevard. You know, they'd been sent there to do a welfare check on Nicole Jones. However, upon her arriving, knocking on her door, having a goo around the place, she was nowhere to be found.
That's kind of I read it as I'm coming down here. It's kind of a weird one.
Christopher
The package on the front porch. It looks like it's been there a week. Say if it's unlocked, we're just going to go in.
Packages had been left outside for what appeared to be a few days, so there was no activity in this house.
You got my RAM and stuff, but obviously it's your guys'.
You know, I'm going to...
Now, the police had been requested to do a welfare check on Nicole Jones, and it seems like it was a good idea because she's obviously nowhere to be found. Because, you know, just a few days earlier, a 17-year-old girl had texted a foster care worker that she had, well, just committed murder and arson. And, well, Nicole Jones might likely be the person she would commit murder and arson to if she was going to do it. And maybe she had.
Trying to check the safety of her. Has anybody seen her?
No. I've only seen a guy going in and out of there. I have not seen her in forever.
We got the window all the way open.
Okay.
We can just step right through it.
Yeah, let's go in. We'll go.
I mean, I don't see no...
Nicole Jones was of Toledo, Ohio, but after having worked her life as a phlebotomist at Toledo Hospital, she was now chilling and enjoying time with her nieces, nephews, and of course her son, Jonathon Jones. Jonathon was a military vet, having served from 2009 to 2013 in Afghanistan, and was now living at home with his mom. He had a couple of kids and a couple of relationships, but it appears that over the years his attempts to hold down a job hadn't been successful, and he was mostly on disability after having been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder after, well, it appears his time in the military. It appears he had experienced quite a few IEDs and you know, traumatic events. But in recent years, things hadn't been too swell for old Johnny boy, let me tell you. He had been getting himself into far too much trouble with someone who was far too young for him. Like, he was 33 and he had been fooling around with a 17-year-old. A 17-year-old, ladies and gentlemen. See, there was this girl in foster care in Toledo, Ohio. Her name of Kaitlyn Coones, and she was a very troubled girl. And when I say very, I mean extremely. She was in a foster home and she would book it out of there. She would be Audi 5000 to any chance she got. Like a shot, she's gone. She would be running away from folks again and again and again, running away from these. Now, people would say that, you know, the conditions, how she'd grown up was kind of horrific. But, well, yeah, and it seems like during one of these excursions, that's where she met Jonathon Jones. They actually met on a dating website called Mingle2. So good it got a sequel. There was a 16-year age gap between the two, so... Now, as I said, Kaitlyn, very troubled, difficult relationship with her parents to the extent that it led to her being placed in foster care, and she would enter into these relationships with men who were far too old for her. Or predators is a better term to call them. Kaitlyn struggled with drugs, with eating disorders, and it even led to her getting into a car accident at one point, and she said, she hit her head so hard she would develop memory issues, and I mean, it seems like she's already got a lot going on up here, so she really doesn't need a bang in her noggin. Now, the relationship between Jonathon and Kaitlyn would eventually lead to Jonathon getting arrested and charged with child endangerment, obscenity involving minors, and basically a whole litany of charges. This was after, they were found together, and videos and photos were found on Jonathon's devices, which depicted them, doing it. It's too gross. I'm trying to do it in a way where it's not gross, but it's just, yeah. Let's move on. He would plead guilty to this in March of 2023, and he was sent home with an ankle monitor. Jonathon Jones was due to be sentenced for this, but he missed the May 4th court appearance. And now all of them were missing. You got Jonathon Jones, no one knows where he's gone. Nicole Jones, ditto, and Kaitlyn Coones, who liked to run away, appeared she had run away so far nobody could find her. Had she run away with her much older boyfriend? She had actually been missing since April 18th, so over 2 weeks by the time the police actually went to the Jones home.
Did you read the same text I did? No. There's the son took the woman's car with the girlfriend. Okay, the girlfriend down there reported to her caseworker that they killed some lady and burned her house. Oh, for God's sake. So, that's all we got, and...
Sylvania police checked the Jones home on May 5th. It was completely empty, and US Marshals had also arrived to help in the search.
Are you working with the detective? Is Canton?
Yeah,
okay.
It's a fugitive investigation, but then I guess...
The one lady said that she killed her in arson.
Yeah.
Okay.
That doesn't obviously
so
fit,
I don't know if, yeah.
But they're supposedly they took mom's car. The lady that lives here, they're in her car somewhere.
Okay.
Supposedly.
Do we know how old she is?
It was also very, fearful because one of the child services employees had gotten a text from Kaitlyn. The text said she had just killed 2 people and was now on the run.
It says, I just killed 2 people and I did 2 arsons. I'm in deep trouble and they don't know I'm away from Ohio and about what and that was kind of the end of it. But that's
there's the money?
That's
is that her holding the money?
I don't know. I'm guessing this is her phone because clearly it says, right, Kaitlyn, whatever. But so Canton PD detectives are working that side of it.
Jesus. All right, that's why we're going to get a detective down here.
Hey, mom's probably in the trunk.
And what?
I said, that dude's mom's probably in the trunk.
Oh, who knows? I mean, I don't know what income, maybe she, they milked her for that, or who knows.
But I'm saying if they don't have the car, I wonder if they could see if they could put a locator to stop it at the border if they're trying to cross the
We've already done that and they got airplanes up right now.
Oh, awesome.
So, I don't know, man. I think this is definitely the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah, not going to look good.
No, I don't think so either.
Had Kaitlyn killed Jonathon and Nicole? If you're theorizing, these actually seem more likely that Jonathon would have killed his own mother and then ran away with a minor. Ran away with his, teen sweetheart because Jonathon, he had missed his court appearance in Wood County for, the previous charges he had with Kaitlyn Coones. After Jonathon was released after he pleaded guilty, before he was sentenced, which he missed, he was required to wear an ankle monitor, have no contact with kids, and no internet access. He was a predator in the dictionary definition. You Google it, his picture pops up. It soon became apparent that Nikki, was likely the victim of a homicide, and the US Marshals Service sent out a release for a fugitive, Jonathon, and a missing child.
Well, new tonight, we are tracking a developing story as we work to learn what exactly is going on.
So we know that police are looking to get a warrant for at least one suspect. And again, as we mentioned, that there is no body as of right now. And we know that this victim is actually related to a suspect in another incident. So we came here to Timber's Edge to find out what exactly neighbors know about this case. U.S. Marshals issued an alert for 33-year-old Jonathon earlier this month. The Wood County Sheriff's Office wanted him for pandering obscene material and child endangerment. They say he was with a 17-year-old endangered child.
But it was odd. Kaitlyn was still posting on her Facebook, that she was still like in Canton, Ohio. These short little videos at Dave & Buster's with another older man, not Jonathon Jones, one of these other mystery old men she had met in her excursions. When police went and checked out this guy, though, he would say, nah, they were taken a long time ago. It appeared that Kaitlyn was trying to mislead the police as to where she was and what she was doing in like the stupidest way possible. It's like uploading old photos and saying, oh no, actually, that was just taken yesterday. Now the investigators would learn real soon that Jonathon and Kaitlyn had actually been spotted at the Mexican border. They were getting the hell out of town. They were getting the hell out of Dodge. They were going to go for a run. They were questioned by Border Patrol. What are you guys doing here? Something a little bit suspect about what you guys are up to. But of course, it was like, well, we're actually going out, not coming in. And so the Border Patrol were like, oh yeah, not our problem anymore, actually. And they were even driving Nicole's 2021 Buick Enclave. They were driving his mom's car. Stolen car.
So what happened was this dude was on bond for Wood
The son.
County. The son.
Right.
He was supposed to show up for sentencing or something like that.
Okay.
This morning, the Border Patrol stops him in Douglas, Arizona.
Okay.
With a 17-year-old that's a missing juvenile.
And she's the one reporting the murder and arson.
But they also said they burned the house down too.
Right.
But obviously the house ain't burned down.
Right.
So right now...
So we have no idea where she is.
We don't.
Soon the hunt was on for the couple, and also the hunt was on for Nicole's likely body, which they had come to believe had been dumped. Remember, Jonathon Jones had been wearing an ankle monitor the entire time he was free, so they were actually kind of able to track him the entire time until he eventually disabled it when he was making a run out of the country with his teen sweetheart. But around the time of the murder, oh boy. It was on May 9th that Jonathon and Kaitlyn were finally picked up by Mexican authorities in Ahumada, Chihuahua, cartel capital, if you can believe that. They were picked up like they're on the side of the road, selling jewelry to try and get some money because, of course, neither of them had any cash to go. They were selling Nicole's, his mom's jewelry, which they had also nabbed when they went on the run. Mexican authorities, they were like, this looks a little bit suspect upon seeing these two gringos on the side of the road. They started questioning them. They began to wonder, are you like trafficking Kaitlyn Coones, into something? They then searched the Buick. They found marijuana in there, so they arrested him on that. But they also found, Nicole's credit cards, her license, her ID, and they found a backpack with what looked like blood on it. Now, the next day, as Kaitlyn was an underage American citizen, they sent her back to, their side of the border, and in El Paso, she was picked up by detectives. She would be asked, what happened? Are you okay? What happened to you? Did he steal you? Did he kidnap you? And of course, where's Nicole, your boyfriend's mom? Where is she?
So, were you guys driving the vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay.
We were driving his mom's because the mom gave us permission to drive it and stuff. And
Nikki, right?
Yes.
Nikki. Okay.
Kaitlyn would say she's grand. Nicole, she's grand. I think last time I saw her anyway, she was like on her bed reading her phone or something. Having a grand old time. And you know what? She actually gave us all her jewelry, if you can believe it. What a lovely woman. She actually gave us all her jewelry so we could sell it. And she gave us her car. Happy days.
We used her car because she gave us permission. And, that was it. We used most of the money he saved up or whatever to, get there to Mexico. And we had a good experience.
And Kaitlyn would, of course, deny being the one to have sent that message saying she just killed 2 people and, done arson. She said, it wasn't me. I got hacked again. Dang dirty trolls.
That talked about 2 murders and arson. This is when my ex has him, like, down. I can write you his name down here. This is for the thing. This is the one that keeps texting me, and this is back from when I lived with him. He has my account. He works, like, on the dark web and stuff.
What do you mean he works in the dark web?
Like, he works on the dark web. Like, you know, he hacks for people.
But at the same time, Kaitlyn had seen the news reports that Nicole was likely dead. But don't know what you're on about. We didn't kill her.
No, but I want to know who killed her because she was a nice mom.
Like, I think we know she hasn't been seen for a while, and it says we killed two people. We don't know that she's dead.
Okay, but you're putting that on me when I thought that she was doing perfectly fine and everything. And I told you I didn't send those messages. He's been able to hack my account.
So what we're trying to figure out is what happened and where she could be.
But of course, pressing and pressing, Kaitlyn would eventually reveal the entire horror story that was her and Jonathon's relationship and what they did to his mom. Nicole did not approve of their relationship, as she shouldn't have. She was also very, very close with Jonathon, almost too close. Like, they were really involved with each other's, lives. I mean, he still lived at home. Don't like where that's going. But basically, to Kaitlyn, she was getting in the way. Of course, Nicole didn't like her. She was underage, and her son, who she was very close with, had been getting in trouble for fooling around with her. Her son was a predator. But you know what I mean? So, well, that just wouldn't do.
And this was because she didn't want you guys to be together?
Yeah, and I think she honestly was really obsessed over him because whenever we were talking to her, about us and stuff, and she was like, well, if you guys have sex, I'm going to be perfectly fine with it and stuff like that. And we were like, well, in the future, like, we're not going to ask you to have sex. Like, that's weird. Like, that's something we would talk out ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff like that. And, she was just, like, always all over her son. Like, always handsy with him and stuff like that, and being really flirt-like, if that makes sense.
Like, inappropriate?
Yes.
See, of course, Kaitlyn had a completely different view to Jonathon than pretty much everybody else with, a functioning brain would. To her, Jonathon, he was, he was sweet, he was caring, he was all of these things.
I like that he's caring and understanding, and I feel like, nobody is like him at all.
Yeah.
Like, I've never met somebody like him before.
She would do anything for him, anything for them to be together. So, Kaitlyn ran away from the foster home and snuck into the Joneses' house via a window. Nicole had no clue Kaitlyn was in the home. And so this is the batshit part. Kaitlyn gave Jonathon an ultimatum. An ultimatum. You have 5 hours to kill your mom. Tick, 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 tick. Time's a wasting.
I told him that I have 5 hours. I ran away from an independent living house, and I told him he had 5 hours, to kill her, and he told me that he couldn't do it because that was his mom.
So they sort of hung out all night, talking about it, this and that, how are they going to do it. I can only imagine Kaitlyn just calling Jonathon like a bitch for not doing it the entire time. Until 5 hours were up. Like, she waited till the final minute. And then 5 hours were up. Okay, well, I guess I'll just have to do it myself. And she did do it herself. She was creeping around the house. Again, Nicole had no idea that Kaitlyn was there. One time then Nicole was, at the fridge, leaning into the fridge, getting out some munchies, this and that. Comes up behind her, starts strangling her to death. Then, after them tussling for a while, when Nicole's on the floor, Kaitlyn grabbed a big rock she had taken with her, brought it down, smacked her repeatedly on the head.
I strangled her out and I took her rock and banged her head a whole bunch of times. And then I told him about it and he was shocked. So then I let him give him a moment, he threw up, and then we went to go get cleaning supplies that I cashed out and stuff. And most of the way he was really struggling with it because it was his mom.
Jonathon, too, would be interviewed. He didn't know Kaitlyn had confessed, so he kept the spiel up. Oh yeah, saw mom a few days ago and she was grand. I'm assuming she still is, wink wink.
Your mom doesn't deserve where she's at right now.
Right.
You wouldn't want that for your mother. I would hope you wouldn't want that for your mother.
Never. I love my mom to death.
But then they would reveal to Jonathon, Kaitlyn already spoke, so cough it up. He told of how they cleaned up the home, went to Lowe's to get some tarps, bought McDonald's because, you know, being a frickin' monster is hungry work. Jonathon told the story, which was confirmed by his ankle bracelet, about them driving around town with his mom in the trunk, and eventually dumping her at an apartment complex dumpster. Pretty grim. Kaitlyn would also claim to have killed another person in Arizona in a drive-by. Now, what that's about, nobody actually knows. Like, we have no idea if she's telling the truth. Did she shoot somebody else? We have no idea, like, nobody else has come forward, nothing like that, nothing kind of links up. So we don't actually know if that story is true or no.
I'm taking 100% of the blame because it is the truth. I was the one that killed his mom, I was the one that did the shoot-by, or whatever. I was just, after killing her, I was like, you know, everybody else because they're always against me.
Just like we do not know what happened to Nicole Jones. Her body has still not been found, and at this stage, it likely never will be.
Got off the phone with the attorney for Nicole Jones's family not too long ago, and they're not happy with the work that has been done to recover Jones's body. If you look at your screen, this is the first photo that we're seeing of Nicole Jones. According to the family was informed by Sylvania Township Police that Nicole was missing on May 5th. They believe that they were actively looking for her until they had a meeting with the police department on May 10th where they learned that she was killed. The attorneys tell me that the family was led to believe that Sylvania Township has a location to conduct a search, and they don't understand why the department is dragging its feet.
We have some new information on a teen charged with killing her boyfriend's mother in Sylvania Township. Kaitlyn Coones appeared in court today. A judge set her bond at $1.75 million. Coones is facing aggravated murder and other charges. Investigators say they believe she killed 53-year-old Nicole Jones last year. Court documents allege the victim would not allow Coones, who was 17, to be with her boyfriend, 34-year-old Jonathon Jones. He is also charged with murder.
Kaitlyn initially pleaded not guilty to the murder and, copious other charges, but later changed her mind. Both her and Jonathon would plead no contest, and both were sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 25 years. And that is the story of the murder of Nicole Jones. Who is the manipulator, who isn't? Frankly, I think them both are. Himself the predator, herself the killer. As I said, Nicole's body has never been found, so what really happened that day we will never know. Some think that Kaitlyn was taking the blame for the murder, and that Jonathon was, in fact, directly involved. Kaitlyn taking responsibility for the killing blow, as she thought, as a minor, she would get a smaller sentence. But in the end, the authorities could never believe them, and so they both got the very same. But one thing we do know is that Kaitlyn and Jonathon are the ultimate match made in HE double hockey sticks. Thank you so much for watching, folks. Really means the absolute world to me. Hope you enjoyed this whole video. Next one will be up when it's up, so keep an eye out. It'll be up. But until then, please take care of each other and please take care of yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.